Hello everyone, TV here, bringing you another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you our realm best time attempt for UBRS Gold Challenge Mode, which will be consisting of our normal group, Survival Beastmaster Hunter, Prot Warrior, Resto Druid, Elemental Shaman, and Subtlety Combat Rogue. So we're going to jump into things, and we'll get into the instance. Me and the tank goes forward and we pull the middle pack. I tricks it to him, the hunter goes right and misdirects the right room, and the tank, after going to the middle pack, goes into the left room and just bunches everything up in there where we pop CDs, pots and everything. We want to be AoEing all that stuff down as soon as possible. You don't really have to worry about the banners at this point since we've already pulled everything anyway. Getting out of that room, we get to this lead belcher with the wolf pack. We decide to take these separately, mainly because the wolves has a really nasty frontal cone cleave thing, and also to really prevent the lead belcher from getting any turrets off. As a side note, you can stun the lead belchers to prevent them activating the turrets if you do it mid-run, so to speak. So we're gonna go over to our next big pull. Same here again, the hunter will be misdirecting the right hand side rooms as we went over here, and the tank is gonna be bringing everything into the far north room, which will be the last one. Try to position yourselves like inside the walls, so to speak, because there's going to be a lot of mobs that's not going to want to come inside the room unless you line of sight. Basically just pop every single like personal defensive CD, and if the healer feels like he needs to, just pop tree or any other big healing CD, depending on what healer you have. In this case, our healer popped Tree of Life and everything went splendidly. As another side note, if the lead belchers in this big pack has against all odds popped more than one sentry cannon, you can run outside and reset this and they will become neutral, meaning that you don't have to spend as much time killing these. However, if there's only one up, which it was for us, we decided to just kill it since it's only 1 million HP. But yeah, anything above one turret, you might as well just run out and reset. So I'll be respecking to Subtlety here for the first boss. Same with my hunter, he's going to be specking to Survival for the single target boss fight to increase our damage, pretty much. So yeah, just standard procedure, get in this room here, clear all the ads, disrupt the conduits to unleash the boss. Be sure to count down here, and so that everyone can pre-pot properly before engaging the boss. And then just, yeah, standard procedure, just engage the boss. He is completely identical tactic-wise to Heroic, I'm pretty sure. He uses the Blades of Steel on the tank. The balls keep swirling around the room. The Shrapnel Nova, you want to be using some minor self-defensives there, just to like make the healer's life a little bit easier. I'm taking care of most of the conduits here, since Hero Class Rogue with Cloak. You can cloak the orbs, you can feint all the damage, just generally survive a lot better than most classes. So just trying to take as many conduits as I can, really, and try to get him out of the stasis thingy form as soon as possible so we don't lose any time. It's going pretty smooth here. This is by far one of our best attempts, I do believe. I think that maybe the third one was a little bit slower, I can't remember, but the two first ones was really good. So yeah, just overall standard procedure. Remember to use defensives on the shrapnel thingy thing, and of course if you're helping with the conduits, use some defensives there as well. So yeah, basically what I'd like to use here as a rogue is definitely feint and what's it called? Oh, I can't for the love of God remember the name of it, but it doesn't matter. Just spec into feint here. That's pretty much what I do in both specs, because it's by far the best talent overall throughout the entire instance. Especially you can soak as much. Like if you have to soak damage, it's not going to be as much of a penalty as it would be without, since the non-spec one only gives protection against AoEs and not flat damage. Now that the first boss is dead, we move into the second room here with the alchemist packs. You can stun these alchemists to make sure that they don't get the potions off, and it's really handy with the combat rogue, which has 8-second kidney shot. If the alchemist would, however, get a cast off, just have one of your teammates be ready to purge this, as it heals for a lot, and it's a big waste of time if a lot of ticks get through. Same thing as on heroic. Pretty much the monstrosity still does that frontal thingy thing, which will disorient you if you stand in it. So make sure you don't stand in that. Also interrupt the shrink blast, no, the debilitating ray. Sorry, it's called, from the engineers. As you can see here, it does a lot of damage, and our tank actually dies, but it's okay. We still have the combat res, so no harm done. We're slowly gonna work down this monstrosity and then let our healer drink for a little bit before we head into the second boss. Sorry. This boss is also identical to heroic. He has 2 adds, which needs to be killed as soon as possible. We decide to cleave off of these adds rather than onto from the boss into the adds, because they do get really annoying after a while, and if they're not dead, when the boss sort of uses I think it's the Bow Blood Serum, the adds kind of copy his abilities after a while. Or so I read when we did this, I do believe. So that's why we decide to kill the adds as soon as possible, so we don't have to deal with more puddles and more other shit, you know. Pretty much. Just make it simple, you know. Just make it simple. So the adds go down pretty quickly. The boss has a shit ton of HP though, which is kind of annoying. But remember to keep interrupting the debilitating ray, which the boss also has. I can't talk today, because it does a lot of damage on the tank. Same as heroic, standard procedure. Remember to pop your second pot here, as he has a lot of HP left. When ours get ready, we really felt it was worth it, because the boss, as I mentioned, has a lot of HP. So yeah, just keep positioning the boss out in the open, so to speak, so you have a lot of room with the poisons and not stacking up, because they do a lot of damage if a lot of them end up on the same place. You don't want to be risking taking too many ticks of it. As you can see, like one puddle does like 30k per tick, so you kind of don't want to be doing that. So the boss finally dies, and we head upstairs. You're gonna want to be going to the far right stairs here, as we're doing, and what we decide to do here is that we pull down the orcs, because one of them has a fear, and we had really bad experiences with this particular fear in previous attempts, so we decided to just play it simple, play it easy, just pull them down here. So even if you do get feared, the Tremor Totem will have plenty of time to tick, so to speak, so none of us gets feared into more mobs. You want to be getting this ogre that you can see upstairs there as well. You want to be getting that one before he gets to his friends, so to speak. Our hunter successfully pulls him down without any delay, which is awesome. So we can just get him down quickly as well. They don't have particularly much HP either, so that's pretty much perfect. So if you're a rogue, you want to be shivving him when he gets de-enraged. It does quite a lot of extra damage just to help out the healer and the tank, so they don't have to pop any defensives or cooldowns in general, pretty much. What we decide to do next here is that we mass stealth. I think. No, wait, we're gonna get this patrol first. The veteran. That's the only thing that went wrong for us. That veteran wasn't being pulled with the first big orc pack, sadly. But it's okay. It's only 855k HP. It's gonna go down pretty quickly, I do believe. And yeah, after this mob, I do a countdown, and we're just gonna mass stealth all the way to the third boss with Roar Sacrifice, just to make it extra safe, so to speak. We get all the way up here to the balcony. We kill these as well. We get on the casters first. They have pretty standard casts, but they do a lot of damage if they line up, so just spread out and interrupt these. I get on the Fire Mage, stun him for 8 seconds, and the Hunter and the Shaman get on the Warlock. So there's not gonna be any costs going off on the tank. And yeah, just slowly work your way through this pack. And as we jump down here, the third boss is gonna engage, so to speak. Now, this part can be sort of tricky, but we managed to find a really good way to deal with it. As you can see here, our tank jumps all the way to the gate and managed to aggro the mobs through the gate, which not only saves us time, but we can also bunch them up easier and cleave really, really well. which saves us a lot of time because some of the mobs fly away and they spread out and, you know, just generally annoying. But we managed to do that, which is a really great tactic, and I advise you all going for Gold Challenge Mode to do the same. So we just keep doing this. Our shaman lines up earthquakes right outside the door. We have frost trap, we have explosive trap, and we have derp rogue cleave, and we have shockwave to stun everything in place from the warriors. It's great. On this pack, I do believe now it's the second one, I think, just interrupt the Veil of Shadows as it reduces healing taken by a lot. Otherwise, just cleave down normally. Interrupt the Shadow Volley if you do have the time. On the next pack though, there's gonna be spawning some summoners, I do believe. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 summoners, and they obviously summon people. They summon, oh, not people, orcs. They summon additional orcs. So I tell my hunter and my shaman here that I'm gonna take the X summoner to make sure that he doesn't get any costs off while they get the other one, so we don't get an additional mob wasting time DPSing these. As you can see, it goes pretty smoothly. I did over aggro by mistake, but it's okay. You know, hero class, rogue, evasion, all that good stuff. We get both the summoners down, which means we're pretty much out of harm's way, so to speak. So we just cleave the last pair of ads down, respecking quickly again to subtlety, as this is also a single target fight, which will increase my damage overall. Yeah, just get a clean respec. I do believe I successfully got my pre-pot off, I'm not sure. No, actually I know I didn't. I was actually in combat when I popped it, which kind of sucked a little bit, but you know, what are you gonna do, you know? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Better luck next time. But it's okay. We're gonna burst this dragon mount down. By the way, this fight is also identical to heroic. He first sits on his mount, which breathes fire, which you want to stay out of. Fire is bad. First rule of World of Warcraft. You just DPS the dragon down, preferably as soon as possible before getting on the orc boss. The orc boss has the same abilities as on heroic. He charges around, he tosses his swirling axe around, and he just does, like, generally, like, a lot more damage, simply. So, like, use any, like, small personal defensive cooldowns if you have the time for his charges, if you can predict those. Sadly, you can't shiv him here on that enrage, which is a bummer, but just have your tank, like, pop a minor defensive for it if he needs to. As you can see there, the boss just turns around and throws an axe in my face, which almost kills me. So, like, there's a lot of spike damage from this guy, so you really want to stay clear of everything he does as much as you can. Our healer is pretty much good on mana though, so we should be pretty fine here. Yeah, that's a pretty stand-up summation of the boss. Also has quite a lot of HP, so if you do manage to get a proper pre-pot off, don't forget to pop your second one, as it's gonna help speed up the kill a lot when you're out of CDs. But yeah, so as the boss goes down, we're gonna be running over to the gate behind us and move forward. And there's gonna be an ogre ad up there, and I do believe 2 small orcs, 1 lead belcher, but doesn't matter, there's no turrets up there, so it's not really worth mentioning. And then a wolf. Just stay clear of the wolf, keep shivving the ogre, standard procedure. Rebuff, food buff if you have to as well. Oh yeah, this is actually a different kind of ogre. This is the one you don't have to, this is one where you can't be in front of him when he does that Earth Pounder ability, as it does a whole bunch of damage. So you want to stay clear of the front of that guy when he starts pounding away, so to speak. And also stay clear of the wolf, as he also does that frontal cleave thing. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. As we get down to the left here, towards the dragon cages, same thing, same principle here as the lead belchers in the start. If you stun the drake keepers when they're about to run to a cage, you can interrupt their whole sequence where they try to free the drakes and save a lot of time. The small cages isn't that bad if one gets off, but if you can't stop it, you might as well do it. It's the big one that you really want to stop though, because the big one, I do believe, has almost 1 million HP, so it's quite a lot of time wasted if you accidentally get that one off. Like, every single second counts when you're trying for realm best. So that's why I'm mentioning all these things. Like 1 million HP doesn't seem like much to you guys maybe, but like if you want to get the best time, you want to be saving every single second if possible. So we're facing 2 ground shapers here, as I explained when we were upstairs behind us. Stay clear of the ground pound. Make sure to get rid of the fear in some way if you can, as soon as possible. If you get feared in the ground pound, you're pretty much done for, like 100%. Preferably you mark one of these and DPS them down one by one. Our tank actually accidentally clicks the cage, I forgot to mention that as well. After that pack is dead, you can actually free the drakes by yourself, and I believe he just misclicked and actually freed them by himself. But it's okay though, like as I said, they don't have that much HP, so we were already in fight with the ogre anyway, so we could just cleave off of him on them and they just die. So we're coming up to the Proto Drake boss called Ragewing. He's also pretty much identical. I do believe he actually is identical to heroic mode, just a whole bunch of more damage. He does magma spit every now and then. You get out of this, spawns a pool on the ground. Standard procedure. He does engulfing fire. Make sure to run to the opposite side of the room. When you run away from the engulfing fire, that's including the tank also. When you get to one side and you run back, if you get back to the boss's melee range before the tank, he's gonna swing at you, and it's gonna make you take a lot of unnecessary damage, or even kill you like instantly. So really make sure that your tank is the first one to go back to the boss when you reposition, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time, simply. So yeah, standard procedure, he flies down to the bridge again, dodge the magma spits, stay clear of the engulfing fire. I do believe our healer is in a really unfortunate spot and he gets hit here, but oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Luckily, he's not gonna be in melee range of the boss, but that's also the thing. He was in melee range of the boss when he got engulfed. So as you can see, he got breath and then died from the melee hit as he was too close to the boss. So actually, we're gonna just finish this fight with no healer, because who needs a healer, right? Especially a silly little druid healer called Thorn Thunder. Come on, please, TT. We don't need you, but okay. Boss is gonna land and instantly cast Burning Rage, which you will shiv, especially if your healer is dead. You really want to be shiving this, because tank's gonna be taking a lot of damage. So just make sure you shiv this every single time it comes up, and preferably the tank should have all his defensives for this phase as well, just in case, especially since you don't have a healer. Our shaman does backup heal a little bit though, which makes it more than fine. Our hunter gets down to 1k HP, but managed to survive as well, thank god. So we don't have to waste too much time rezzing. We decided to just refresh the food buff here as well, since most people have to drink and eat anyway. So no harm done. We slowly get our food buffs back up, and we're gonna run into the last room before the last boss of this cursed instance, which is really long, as you can see as well. So wiping on this, especially here at the end, is a pain in the butt. But we decided to just mass stealth all of it. As you may know, there's 2 mobs left at the end on this bridge here, which is gonna make the mob counter sufficient for our completion. So we're just gonna stealth that entire room, which can be really nice, in my opinion. So same thing here, this rage guard, they do shock waves, so you want to be marking one with skull. Kill these, don't stand in the shockwave, as you will get stunned for a long time and it does a lot of damage. Yeah, just you can still cleave, but make sure you DPS one mainly, get him down as soon as possible. I do believe I will be specking subtlety for this fight as well, as it is somewhat single target fight, excluding the Orcats, which spawns when she jumps away. But yeah, I'm gonna be specking subtlety here, definitely. So yeah, while I respec, I do the countdown, since I'm the last one to change gear and specs and all that stuff. Remember to pre-pot, as usual, and we engage. Alright, so this fight is also identical to Heroic, I do believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. There might be some more frequent Drake spawns on CMs, or so it felt like it to me at least, but I might be wrong. But yeah, also another fight where it's so good to be a rogue and where you have to really rush your DPS. On the Bladestorm there, as you may have seen, I didn't even bother dodging it, as I can just evasion it and keep DPSing to not lose any damage on the storm, which helps a lot. So we get her into second phase really quickly. This is where your healer, as you can see here, our healer pops his tree form and her Nature's Vigil or whatever you might be using, just to make sure that we get through this phase, because there's going to be a lot of fire, and these ads, they hook you and they knock you, and if you get knocked down, it's pretty much GG. You really cannot afford to be knocked down in this phase, or during the boss fight at all, rather. So we take care of the ads, the boss comes back down. Standard procedures is going to be Bladestorm again soon, as you can see here. I have another evasion, so I can keep DPSing. Even tank her there, as she was focused on me. Unfortunately, I was standing a little bit too close to the fire, which I didn't notice until it was over, but it's okay. My druid was able to keep me up. I also used the health pot, so should be okay. At this point, we're like, oh my god, we're actually gonna do this. It was such a bad try, and we're actually gonna fucking get it. Our healer actually dies there at the end as well. Oh man, it's such chaos, and we still get it down, and it's so glorious. So glorious. Man. Yep. So this is the round best time. We ended up on 21 minutes and 8 seconds. For anyone who's curious, the title you get here is Lady or Lord of the Blackrock. It's by far the coolest title in my honest opinion. Overall, I'm obviously I'm really happy we got it, but I wish we would have done it a little bit more smooth, you know, but I guess you can't have it all. At least we got it. That's all that matters. Anyways, enough blabbering. I'm gonna be letting you go now. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for all the support. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell all your friends, so it helps me out immensely. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.